Hello, how you doing, guys? I am currently doing a frame alignment on a 2005 Ford Escape, and it was in several accidents, and over the course of time it bent the front end over about 1.5 inches. And so what I did is I taped 4x6s on each side of the car. I measured from this bend in the sheet metal up 6 inches to the bottom of this 4x6, and then set it on the mirror on both sides so they're both going perpendicular across. Then I marked some lines on the 4x6 here and here on both sides. See the lines? And put a screw in the center of it on this line and on the center of this line. And I tied a string around all four so they're evenly across. Tied a string across all four of those lines, and then found the center point between the lines. I measured it out, and I tied a string here, intersects there, the crisscross, and I marked it where the line lines up here on this line. So, because I wanted it as accurate as possible, I taped a piece of tape, and so I know that the line I'm trying to follow is right on the edge of that tape. Then I hung a pendulum on the string, and the pendulum locates the center of the vehicle according to all the trigonometry involved. And I measured the center point of the front of the car. So as you can tell, I move this pendulum out of the way. You can see that's the center point. See the C? And the pendulum is hanging about 1 inch to the right of the center line. So that means that the entire front clip of the engine, or the whole front clip of the car, is 7/8 of an inch out of alignment. And again, I did the same thing for the bumper, measuring this part of the frame, this little where it spot welded together the frame on both sides, measuring from that point, and found the center line there. As you can tell, I put a C, and 5/8 on both sides of the C will locate, we should line up to the edges of each of this pendulum hanging. Okay, and this is even farther. This is more like 1.25 inches to the left, towards me from the pendulum. So what I've got to do is I've got to rig up a pendulum swing and set up what will be I'm going to make a pendulum swing, kind of like a swing set out of 2x4s. And basically we'll drop, in the pendulum swing, I'll drop one of these big concrete, it's a concrete footing, weighs about 50 pounds of concrete. I will drop the concrete. First of all, I'll have a 4x4 coming out of here, and I'll drop the pendulum from about 12 feet away, and it'll swing down and hit that 4x4, which is going to be flush up against the bumper here. Right here, it'll be duct taped to here, so it'll hit the 4x4 outside of the shed, which will hit this part, and by the impact will bend the frame that direction, which is what I want. And of course, I'm going to jack up put it on jacks so that take the front wheels off the ground, so it's not fighting the weight of the front wheels, so it lets the whole front end bend that way. Okay, so that's how I'm doing the frame alignment on this 2005 Ford Escape. Pretty cool, right? That's how I'm doing it. Thank you for watching.